were still smoldering at daybreak in Caracas on Saturday, as residents expressed shock after the US strikes hit military bases in Venezuela and removed President Nicolás Maduro. Many people stayed home as Venezuelan security forces patrolled the streets. Of those who were out, some expressed hope of political change, while people like Baker Franklin Jimenez concerned that this will create an even worse conflict than the one we have now, and that we all have to go out into the streets to defend our homeland, to defend ourselves. But excitement is in the air for supporters of the opposition, led by Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado outside.
I'm pretty sure you heard of it by now. If you haven't, U.S. struck Venezuela last night. We captured their president, Maduro, and his wife. His wife's got captured as well. And they're currently, I believe they're in New York. They're in New York being brought up on charges. So this is some of the aftermath. A lot of people are happy. Some people are mad. Some people are going to use it as a political tool to try to, bash the president. But overall, I can say that we have one of, if not the best military in the world. No one knew about it. They kept it secret. And the way they went in and captured a president inside of, he's a illegitimate president. They saying that he's not. I think they said he won the election by like 99%. But a lot of people been hearing that he's bringing drugs into the United States. Their boats been getting bombed and all sorts of stuff. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to the money. And Venezuela does have a large oil reserve. And we cannot not allow anyone else, including Russia, China, or whoever, to have a strategic control in that area. So that's what's going on. We captured the president of Venezuela. So
the country. Venezuelans celebrated in Peru with people like Milagros Ortega talking.
Some people are celebrating. What can I say?
My dad, being a political leader in Venezuela, was able to see this change. He used to say, "Daughter, when you go back, when this government leaves, you'll return to Venezuela." And to know that my dad in his lifetime was able to see the fall of Nicolás Maduro, look, for me, it's an emotion. I would like to see his face.
Since 2014, around 7.7 million Venezuelans have left the country, according to the UN International Organization for Migration. Venezuelans living in Spain also rejoiced at Maduro's capture, while they tried to get hold of friends and relatives still in the country. Some of them are sheltering at home. A few other people in Caracas went out to stock up on essentials. Some of them are concerned that they may now have to hunker down for a prolonged period, uncertain of what is to come.
Yeah, Venezuela president was captured by U.S. He's being brought up on charges in New York. And Trump is a badass. He said he was going to go in. He said y'all effed around and found out. And that's... It's good to be in America, so you don't want to be on the other side. But overall, Trump is doing what he's doing. He said, I'm going to stop all the drugs coming into the country. And compared to 2022 up until now, if you notice, studies are showing that there's a lot of kids, adults, less overdose, fentanyl. It almost came to a complete stop. So I guess it's working. And my thing is, if you're like a fisherman, like what are you doing in the middle of the ocean if you know that you're gonna get bombed? Why would you still try to continue to go out there? Like you can't say I'm a fisherman and I'm trying to, I'm in the middle of the ocean trying to cross. Like, no. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boats got destroyed already. There's no way I'm going out there. So something else must be going on.
Days earlier than expected with that major breaking news that could shape the year, maybe even the century. After months of buildup, at 2:01 a.m. local time today in Caracas, Venezuela, U.S. Delta forces slipped into the home of dictator Nicolás Maduro. By 3:30 a.m., he and his wife were in American custody. They landed at an airport north of New York City just a few hours ago and will face drug and gun charges in a New York courtroom. We're going to have a live report from there in just a moment. But first, more on the raid, a mission that President Trump today compared to nothing seen since World War II.
This was some gangster shit right here.
Good evening to you, Tony. The Venezuelan dictator's wife now face charges here in the United States after this stunning operation that deposed
this was gangster.
Now leaves the U.S. in charge of a country with no clear leadership or no clear plan forward. Nicolás Maduro and his wife Celia Flores touched down in New York this evening after an audacious snatch and grab operation in Venezuela overnight. In the early hours of Saturday morning, a swarm of U.S. military helicopters, special forces units known.
And the crazy thing is, I was telling a buddy of mine, I was like, what happened to their military? I thought they had like 45,000, military guys. Like, where's Venezuela military? Where? He's like, it was all a front. Like, how do you just... I guess it is a front. I thought they had somewhat of a military, or maybe he wasn't really in control. But here's the thing, who's protecting him? Why didn't the people of Venezuela try to out him instead? Why they allow the U.S. to go in there and capture him so easily? Which was great. No one got hurt. No one got killed. But I'm just thinking, thinking outside the box, like, how did you allow, like, I thought you guys had, military guys protecting the so-called president, and it was that easy. They just went in and out, thinking it happened around 4 a.m. in the morning. Right now, we're going to control the oil reserves. Yeah, oil prices should be going down for Americans. So the gas prices should be going down. We got extra oil. I mean, this is how the world works. We cannot have other countries, so close to our borders. Like, if you look on a map of South America, Venezuela is not too far from Florida, Miami. It's not that far. It's not that far.
As the Night Stalkers descended on Caracas and explosions lit up the sky, signaling that Operation Absolute Resolve was underway.
It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolás Maduro to justice.
President Trump and his team watched the mission unfold from his Mar-a-Lago home as soldiers of the Army's elite Delta Force dropped in and breached Maduro's compound just after 2 a.m. local time.
He was trying to get into a safe place. The safe place is all steel. And he wasn't able to make it to the door because our guys were so fast.
Officials tell CBS News that a CIA source inside the Maduro...
They had CIA inside. Oh, man. United States is badass, man. I can't. They had CIA. They knew they had the cockroach watching him. They knew he was trying to get inside the bunker. He couldn't even make it. They moved so fast. Delta Force? This isn't like Call of Duty. This is real life. Black Ops. What? This is crazy. You don't really hear too much noise from Democrats, but overall, it was successful.
Government had tracked the dictator's movements for months.
Where he lived, where he traveled, what he ate, what he wore, what were his pets.
Within 2.5 hours of
Did y'all hear what he said? He said what he ate. They knew what he ate. Who was his pets? What was his pets? Yo, that is crazy. That's some high technology. They knew everything about this man.
U.S. forces touching down. Maduro and his wife were at sea. The president posting this image of a handcuffed and blindfolded Maduro aboard the USS Iwo Jima. One of the U.S. helicopters was hit and some U.S. soldiers were injured in the raid.
On arrival into the target area, the helicopters came under fire, and they replied with that fire with overwhelming force in self-defense. One of our aircraft was hit.
Horrible. At least 5 strategic targets were hit, including military bases and the country's main port.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition.
The president said today the U.S. will take over Venezuela without explaining how that's going to work, how long it could last, or whether U.S. troops would be needed to do it. He also said the U.S. will take over the country's oil reserves.
We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
El deber sagrado de resguardar.
They should have known better. If you don't play ball, you will be ousted. I don't know if any other U.S. president could have done such a good job the way Trump did it. He went in, secured the oil reserves. I didn't see Biden doing it. I mean, they were just stealing our oils from ships and cargo fleets and everything. So yeah, this was, I woke up this morning and I was like, I looked at my phone, I saw all the news going off saying Maduro was captured. I'm like, what? I'm just glad all American soldiers there, no one lost their lives. They're good. You know, those soldiers, they do a great job protecting everyone. So you can say and do whatever you want to do in this country. So yeah. I mean, if you think about it, I don't know if you guys know about the Monroe Doctrine. It clearly states that it opposed European colonialism and intervention in the Western Hemisphere, proclaiming it is a separate sphere of influence announced by President James Monroe in 1823. Its main points are European powers should not interfere in the affairs of the Americas, meaning North America, South America, and the continent, you know, everywhere around Atlantic Ocean, our territory. And that the continents are, and we also should not interfere in European affairs as well. And basically having other actors, you know, drug lords or Russia or China coming into our backyard in Venezuela's close proximity, and he's a drug lord, he got charged. We're not going to have it. It's almost similar to what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. Russia cannot have Ukraine joining NATO and allowing them to put certain strategic weapons on their border. It's just national security for the interests of the country. So, and plus, you know, it's a whole host of issues. It's not just the drugs. Drugs is one part of it. The oil is another part. Strategic location for national security. And I guess he was illegitimate and he didn't want to play ball, so they had to take him out. And good job for America.